Okay, get ready for this. We're about to draw a straight line from some of the most normal, everyday stuff in your house to some of the absolute weirdest things in the entire universe. And it's all thanks to the secret life of one single element.
So let's just kick things off with a question that sounds like a joke, right? What could toothpaste, car tires, and a lemon-shaped planet possibly have in common? It sounds completely nuts, but the answer? Well, the answer tells us something really fundamental about how our universe is put together. To figure this out, we actually need to start right here at home. Forget the stars for a minute. We need to look at the stuff all around us, the materials that we humans have designed to do very, very specific jobs.
And the key idea here is something called a functional filler. Think of it like a secret ingredient in a recipe. It's not the main part of the dish, but you add it to give the final product a special power, maybe to make it stronger or a certain color, or even to conduct electricity. These fillers are pretty much the unsung heroes of a ton of modern materials.
And this is where we start to crack the code. You know, your car tires have to be incredibly tough, right? Well, they get a lot of their strength from a filler called precipitated silica. And that slightly gritty, polishing feeling in your toothpaste, that's often from calcium sulfate. See? In both cases, we're just adding a specific ingredient to get exactly the result we want.
And this trick is used everywhere. We add tiny bits of silver to make special inks that can actually conduct electricity for circuits. We use silicon carbide, which is one of the hardest things out there, to give disc brakes their incredible stopping power. It's like we're material chefs, you know? Just adding the perfect elemental spice to cook up exactly what we need.
All right, so we've seen how we humans carefully engineer things down here. Now, let's completely switch gears and look at how nature does it. And let me tell you, nature's way is wild, it's chaotic, and frankly, it's just plain bizarre.
So I want you to meet PSR J2222-2650b. This planet is orbiting a pulsar, which is basically the super dense spinning corpse of a giant star. A good way to think of it is like a cosmic lighthouse, but instead of sending out beams of light, it's blasting out beams of intense radiation. It's one of the most violent, hostile places you could ever imagine finding a planet.
And this is absolutely no normal planet. I mean, most planets are spheres, right? The intense gravity from that pulsar has stretched this poor planet into the shape of a football or a lemon. And its year, the time it takes to go around its star once, is less than 8 hours. But the biggest mystery of all was, what in the world was its atmosphere made of?
This wasn't some subtle little discovery either. The scientists who found it were just floored. I love this quote from planetary scientist Peter Gaw, whose reaction was basically, "What the heck is this?" You know you've stumbled onto something really special when that's the first thing the experts say.
So, what connects our toothpaste and tires to this weird cosmic lemon? The bridge, the connection, is a single, incredibly important element. This is where all the pieces of our puzzle finally start to click into place.
Let's hop back to Earth for a second. One of our most important functional fillers, maybe the most important, is carbon. We use a form called carbon black to make plastic stronger and to make black ink. We use tiny little carbon nanotubes to make materials for advanced batteries and electronics. Carbon is our go-to jack-of-all-trades element.
And there it is. That's the answer to the whole mystery. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, scientists figured out that the atmosphere of this bizarre planet isn't made of things you'd expect, like water or methane or even carbon dioxide. No, it is made almost entirely of pure molecular carbon. That is something we have never, ever seen before.
And it turns out, this planet isn't the only carbon weirdo out there. There's this other exoplanet, WASP-12b. It's a hot Jupiter that's so dark it's been called black as asphalt. It's loaded with carbon, and it's so close to its star that its atmosphere is literally being ripped away and eaten. This planet is in a death spiral. It's only got about 3 million years left. It seems like the universe just loves making these really extreme, carbon-heavy worlds.
And when we say extreme, we mean it. The side of this lemon-shaped planet facing its star is sizzling at a mind-boggling 3,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, at that temperature, you'd think any carbon would instantly react with other elements. The fact that its atmosphere is pure carbon is what makes this so incredibly baffling to scientists.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, these discoveries aren't just cool little facts for a trivia night. They point to a real, unfolding mystery that is challenging everything we thought we knew about how planets are even made. This is the million-dollar question now, right? It's hanging over the entire field of astronomy, because every idea we have about how planets form just doesn't seem to fit. Did it form like a normal planet? Probably not. The chemistry's all wrong. Is it the leftover core of an old star that got stripped away? The physics for that doesn't really work either. We just don't know.
And that kind of brings us to this final thought from scientist Roger Romani. The answer to our riddle at the beginning was carbon, but that's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a much bigger one. It's a perfect reminder that for every question science answers, it usually uncovers even deeper, more amazing questions. And that's the fun of it, isn't it? That's what keeps us looking up.